it works great. One thing you want to remember is using fluorocarbon line. If 1 pound test leader is not working well, go to another. Go from 8 to 10 to 12 or maybe even down to 6. Fluorocarbon's the key. Keep those hooks small. Now let's go to drop shotting. Drop shotting is one of the newest techniques that's sweeping across America. Actually, it's an old technique because I used it when I was a kid. We used to tie a hook onto our line, up the line a little ways, and tie a sinker on and throw it in and put live bait on, and it worked great. But the new technique was developed in Japan, went to the West Coast, and came east. And we are utilizing it on Lake Erie to catch some of the biggest and most consistent catches of smallmouth bass on Lake Erie. We're going to look at some video of myself, and then we're going to look at some video of my daughter, Maddie. These techniques are great. Some of the different baits we use. Watch.
That's a good start. Oh, yes. I love it. I love it. Drop shot and then Lake Erie. One more little jump. And he's deciding, and he says, yes. All right. Love to watch him jump. Okay, come here, little boy. No, another one. Another jump. Okay. All right. Drop shot. Ah, how unaggressive. You know, we've been out here a few minutes trying to get him to start. And you can see right where that hook is. Barely in the tip of his lip. And that's how you can tell how aggressive they are or how not aggressive they are. And you can tell Lake Erie's water is a little off color by the color of that fish. Look at, he's almost yellow or really, really light. And that usually is an indicator of the water not being real clear. And we're used to very clear water here. So we're going to let him go. Maybe he'll go down there and get the school stirred up. His stripes are starting to come up as we have him out of the water, and we'll let him go. And it's really important, folks, there's one, I love it, to pay attention to the drop-off. Being real close to the drop-off is very important to have success. He's going to come up and jump on the other side of the boat, I think. Oh, this feels like a little better fish. Oh, yeah, it's a nice one. Yeah! Love it. I love it. Oh, pull a little drag. Yes. That's a nice one. I like it. Jump. Here he goes. Yo! Tournament fishing, you don't want to see that TV. You love it. You just love it. That's what it is all about. Grab it up. My thumb is slow today. Yes. There's a nice little smallmouth. A blind one. Look at that eye. You can always tell it's just a little cloudy, but he's got one good eye. It's helping him feed. And there's the other good eye. You can see that good eye looks around. Beautiful fish. Close to 3 pounds. Healthier than anything. No marks other than that blind eye, but he's going to grow to be an old fish. Beautiful. Drop shot. Very nice. All right. Off he goes. All right. All right. Yeah. Well, we stopped biting there for a little bit. We just did a little color change, switched to a hand-poured reaper with no chartreuse tip. And that's what we've been catching them. So when we start talking about the baits we use for drop shotting, I'll show you all the combinations you can use, and it'll help you out. Oh, I did it anyway. That's barely in his lip. Barely in his lip. I'll use the other hook. There's a couple different combinations. I really recommend the Daiichi. Let me get that out of there. There we go. Look at that. Oh, what a beauty. What a beauty. All right. Just gorgeous. For any of you who are not familiar with drop shotting, it is probably as old as fishing is, but with a new twist. Remember as a kid, you tied your hook right to your line. Well, I don't know if you did, but I sure did, because we didn't have leaders or didn't know how to tie them. And it's a little number 1 Daiichi drop shot hook. It's got a little different bend than the octopus hooks that I use for my live bait, just a little bit straighter bend, and it's tied directly onto the line with a Palomar knot. And on the bottom are special Mojo sinkers from a company called Mojo with a pineapple head, they call it. They swivel a little bit. You don't even tie them on. You just kind of snap them in place. We'll show you that again in a little bit. And I'm fishing in about 29 to 25-foot drops from 25 down to 29. And all you do is just drop your bait down to the bottom, let your sinkers touch, and you just start working your bait like this, just giving it a little wiggle. Any ripple or current on Lake Erie, any body of water for that matter, will improve your fishing dramatically. So at least we're getting a little bit of a breeze, and it's breaking up the surface, and it's causing a little bit of current. Because what happens is the fish just, they just mill around. They don't face in any one direction. When you get a little bit of current or a little wind speed, it'll get the fish positioned on a drop-off or facing in the same direction, so you can bring your bait to them and catch a lot more fish. So now, I've been a split shotter for many, many years, and I sell these reapers right here. They work wonderful for split shotting, and since I've taken on the new love of drop shotting, they've worked wonderful for drop shotting as well. Now, you notice the difference between the two. This is what I was talking about before. This is pumpkin pepper. This is pumpkin pepper with a little tiny chartreuse tail. Now, when you're catching them on pumpkin pepper and all of a sudden you stop getting bit, you switch over to a little bit of chartreuse tail. Or you can go over to the other style of reaper that I'm now using from Designer Baits. This is called Smallmouth Killer, chartreuse tip. Smallmouth Killer, no chartreuse tip. And this is just a little 5-inch hand-poured worm. Wonderful, works great. You can see the action in the water, works wonderful. So when they stop biting on a solid color, go to a chartreuse tip, go to a worm, switch back and forth. If you're not getting bit, that's the time to change.
Seems like a good size. These Goby baits work real well for smallmouth. Looks like a great size. It's fighting. Wow. Doesn't want to come in the boat. Oh, that's a nice one. Ooh, lost the bait somewhere. I think he swallowed it. Not bad. Whew. Good size. About the same size I've been catching all day. They love these gobies. Another nice one. Drop shot rig is very simple. It's just a hook on your line with a sinker about a foot down. And the goby is hooked just like a minnow on the hook. Okay, so these are some of the gobies on the market today. This is a Yodo, made by Yodo, goby. And this is a snake bite sculpin. You can see they have a little bit different designs, but in general they're gobies. These are by Mad Tom, and there's different designs, different colors. These are by Poor Boy, and again a lot of them have different, different colors, different shapes, varying slightly. There's many colors from this. As long as they look generally like a goby, they're going to catch fish.
Drop shot. What a phenomenal way to put a lot of bass in your boat on Lake Erie. Over the years, we've seen this development of the gobies in Lake Erie. We find out that 80% of their diet is now gobies. So let's look at the graphic. Let's look at our picture of different drop shot baits, and we see that Goby baits are the number one ones we want to choose. We want to choose ones in various shapes, various colors, various textures, and you will find that if you change those out during the day, you'll consistently have a boatload of fish. Also, reapers work really good, small plastic worms, Senko type baits, just change them on and off. And we look at some of the hooked styles. That standout hook from Daiichi works tremendously well. The important thing about a drop shot hook is to have it standing out on your line. Make sure that hook is pointing up, and you will catch them like crazy.